we have completed 20 questions in the just chanted 8 shlokas of Adi Shankaracharya's Prashnottara Ratnamalika. And as the name tells us, this is the garland of precious stones. Yeah? And who indeed will not be adorned by wearing this, which is in the form of the question and answers. Very crisp questions and very brief answers. And this text or the content of the text is the sadhana for drishta arthas and adrishta arthas for the patiyan. So the intelligent user will study such text in order to gain the tangible known goals of life and the future goals here or hereafter. In short, the 4 purusharthas. Yeah? So these questions appear very simple, but they are extremely profound. Remember the question when Adi Shankaracharya says, what is the saram of the samsara? What is the essence of the world or this life of becoming? Think about it. That's it. Do chintanam again and again, and you will arrive. So it shows that one must have jignasa. Jignasa in life. Now we will continue further and take up the verse number 9. Let me share the shloka first. Shloka number 9. Kim gahanam stri charitam. Kim gahanam? Question. Stri charitam. Answer. Kaha chaturaha yona khanditaha tena kim dukkham asantoshaha kim dukkham asantoshaha kim laghavam adhamataha yancha kim laghavam adhamataha yancha. One minute. So we are in verse 9, and which starts with Kim Gahanam. Yeah? So what is the 21st question in our list? What is difficult to understand in life? So depending on our situation and our mind, many different answers are possible here. But we are studying the Prashnottara Ratnamalika of Adi Shankaracharya. So what is the answer he is going to give? You will be surprised. The nature of a woman. Stri Charitam. Yeah? Stri Charitam. Now, the question is, what is not easily grasped? Yeah? And the answer given is Stri Charitam. And Swamiji would add, Puja Swamiji will say, why only Stri Charitam? Yeah? Even Purusha Charitam is very difficult to understand. So the answer is, the nature of the human mind is difficult to grasp. Yeah? Because the mind, the surface mind is governed by the subconscious chittam. Yeah? And our chittam is a storehouse of samskaras left behind by all the past experiences, not only from this life, but from past lifetimes. Yeah. So here on the surface, it appears the answer is the heart, the mind, the behavior of a lady, of a woman is difficult to understand. Maybe true also. Yeah, because it is said that a woman is more emotional and devotional by temperament. Also, she has the power of intuition. Yeah. But Swamiji says it is because, the nature of the mind itself. Manaha eva karanam bandha mokshayoho manushyana. The famous mantra from the Amrita Bindu Upanishad says mind alone is the cause of bondage, and the mind can also be the cause for release. Yeah, Uddharet Atmana Atmanam Natmanam Avasadayet. Gita also says the purified, elevated, inspired mind can lift the mind. But again, the attached mind will pull the mind down. Yeah. So here the answer we can take is the human mind. Then question 22 is related to this 21. Chaturaha kaha. Chaturaha kaha yaha na khanditaha tena. Yaha na khanditaha tena. The one who is not affected. Na khanditaha tena. Tena means by what? By Stri charitena. But we have to take it as manasa. The one who is not affected or afflicted by the mind, yeah, will not succumb to the lower mind. Is not affected, is not shattered. In short, the one who is not tempted by Maya. It is said that the mind is Maya. Yeah? Because it is a product of Trigunatmika Maya. Yeah? And hence the mind is difficult to understand. Yeah? But when the mind is purified through sadhana and uplifted, then we are able to understand the mind and how it is keeping me in bondage. Yeah? The mysteries of the mind will be revealed. It is said that we are only using the tip of the mind, like the tip of the iceberg. 1/7 or 1/8 is visible above the surface, known to us, but 7/8 is submerged in the subconscious mind. Yeah? So that is this shloka, verse number 9, and where we have two more questions. In verse 9, 23rd question is Kim Dukkha? Yeah? Kim Dukkha or Dukkham? What is the cause of unhappiness? Yeah? Again, we can have so many answers here, attachment and indiscipline and all that, but Shankaracharya gives the answer as Asantoshaha. Asantoshaha is absence of contentment. Yeah? Absence of contentment. And why is one not contented? Because we have expectations. Now we have to remember that the outcome of our karmas can have different outcomes. I can get exactly what I expected in life, or I can get less than what I expected, more than what I expected, or opposite. Just a couple of days ago, my neighbor, the neighboring kid came to me with her results, college results, and she had done excellently in all the subjects except maths. Failed, despite. So it is a mystery. It happens to all of us. We cannot explain that a certain outcome, a certain situation in life, which is not expected. Yeah. So here, but Acharya says, the reason for dukkham in life is when I'm not able to reconcile with my current situation. Yeah? And hence, what is the solution? Prasada buddhi. Prasada buddhi is accepting the present situation, which is the outcome, as prasada, because it is not in my hands. Yeah. So that is the answer given to the question, what is dukkham? Yeah? Again, if you see, dukkham, sukham, dukkham are the polarities. Yeah? They are experienced in the mind. Yeah? But the yogi goes beyond both. Yeah? Then question 24, the next one in the same shloka number 9 is Kim Laghavam. Yeah? Now, Laghavam is the opposite of Gurutvam. Now, Guru, Laghu are antonyms. So, Laghavam means lowly or unworthy. Yeah? So, what makes us, sink down or feel unworthy or lowly in life? Yeah? In the eyes of others? And the answer is Adhamataha Yancha. Yeah? I hope you all have the PDF open before you because I'm not able to juggle between these two slides. So, Adhamataha Yancha. Yancha is literally begging. Then Adhamataha are, those low in stature, the people who are low in stature. Either way, by status or by financial means. So, asking for favors or asking for help, and begging, literally begging from those people will make one feel small. So the idea here is to have the Atma Nirbharata, to depend on oneself. Atmani eva Atmana Tushtaha. So these are the 4 questions in shloka number 9. Okay. Then we go to the next verse 10. Let me see if I can juggle between. So let's go to verse number 10. Kim jivitam anavadyam. Kim jivitam anavadyam. Kim jadyam. Kim jadyam. Pathatopyanabhyasaha. Pathatopyanabhyasaha. Ko jagarti. Viveki. Ko nidra. Mudhata jantoho. Kim jivitam anavadyam. Kim jadyam. Pathatah api anabhyasaha ko jagati viveki ko nidra mudhata jantoho. So here in the verse 10, the question number 25 is Kim Jivitam. So Jivitam is, what is life all about? What is an ideal life and worthwhile life? Yeah? And here Acharya says, a worthwhile life is anavadyam. Anavadyam. See, vadyam, the word means cut or tainted. So a life that is spotless, that is clean and without regrets. How can a life be clean and spotless and blemishless? When we follow the instructions of the Shastra. So the Vedas, we know, are the primary Shastras, which have all the content about the way of life and the vision. Then we have the secondary scriptures, Ramayana, Itihasa, Puranas, and Bhagavad Gita, which are the content of the primary Shastras. So when we live a life as a Shastra-based life, then that is the Jivitam, Anavadyam Jivitam. That is without blemish. Then what is Jadyam? Jadavastu. Jadavastu is like a stone or the table. The chair I'm sitting on is Jadavastu because there is no Sukshma Shariram. Yeah? So here, but here it is with reference to a person, When is the person Jadam? Inert. When is he or she insensitive? And the answer is Patataha api anabhyasaha. Patataha api anabhyasaha. That even though one has studied or learned something, but there is no practice. There is no practical following of it. Yeah? Patatah api anabhyasaha. That is, one has not applied the buddhi. We saw that the buddhi is the treasure. And that is why Viveka Chudamani, it is the crest jewel, the buddhi. But when there is only information gathering, but no application of the buddhi with respect to life, and when the values, I just read to you, when the value of a value is not valuable to me, then it is just in the book. Yeah, it is not in my mind, it is not in my life. Yeah? So all that we are doing Shravanam of, why are we studying the Gita, Upanishads, even Prashnottara? Yeah, it is because we want a cognitive transformation. Yeah? It is not an intellectual pursuit alone, although it starts off with being intellectual, but then we have to integrate the emotional buddhi, emotional manas with the intellect. Only then there will be a transformation in life. And so the one who is not able to do that, integrate the intellect with the heart, emotion, is as good as a jada porul, jada vastu, not practicing what one has learned. Yeah? So that is the 10th one. And again, we have 2 more questions here which are related. Yeah? Kaha jagarti. Yeah? Kaha jagarti means who is truly awake in life. See, right now, I hope all of you are awake. Yeah, it looks to me that all of you are awake. We are all in the Jagrat Avastha. Yeah? And so, but are we really awake? That is the question here. Who is truly awake? And what is the answer given here? The one who has the power of discrimination. And the shloka, it is the Viveki. The Viveki is Vivekaha asya asti iti Viveki. The one who discriminates. Now, what kind of discrimination? The one who discriminates between dharma, adharma, nitya vastu, anitya vastu. What is, the parama purushartha? What am I seeking in life? What am I doing right now? No? In fact, one acharya said, before doing anything, you ask yourself the question, is there a need? Why should I do this today? So we get to know the mechanical behavior of the mind or the impulsive behavior of the mind, and then we can reorient our minds. And remember, this answer, Viveki, was also given to another question earlier. Kaha Panditaha, who is the scholar or the Vidwan? Viveki. So Viveka is where everything begins. At some point, Viveka comes to all of us. Yeah? I have become 30 years, 40 years, 60, 70, and yet I am not finding peace in life. Where is it to be found? If a 90-year-old person asks this question, that means one has not really come to the Shastras. Yeah? Shravanam and then Mananam and Nididhyasanam. Yeah? Of course, experience teaches us a lot of things, including Viveka, but only when we want to learn from life experiences. If we go on only experiencing, but then not understanding the saram, then again there is no Viveka. Yeah? So Viveki is the one who is truly awake to the realities of life. In the Vedanta class, we saw the 3 kinds of realities: Paramarthika Satyam, Vyavaharika Satyam, Pratibhasika Satyam. Yeah? That is, there is an ultimate Satyam, not subject to time. Then there is an empirical reality, relative Satyam. And then there is a subjective Satyam, my dream worlds, my projections. Yeah. So Viveki is the one who is aware of all these, minimizes the Pratibhasika Satyam, and the Vyavaharika Satyam is very objective as a Karma Yogi, as a Bhakta, in pursuit of the Paramarthika Satyam. Yeah? Then the related question to 27 is Nidra Ka. Yeah? Ka Nidra. Nidra means sleep. Yeah? So what is sleep? And the answer given is the delusion of a person Mudhata jantoho in the shloka. Mudhata. Now, Mudha is the aviveki, just the opposite. Yeah? And Mudhata jantoho means the delusion of the jantus. Yeah? Now, delusion, what is the delusion here? The delusion is the moha. Yeah? The moha. The moha is again the mix-up, the confusion. Nitya, anitya vastu mix-up. Yeah? Like what is happening to Arjuna. The entire first chapter of the Gita is what? Talking about moha. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. There is Vishada because there is moha. There is moha because of avidya. Yeah? So avidya leads to moha and moha leads to Vishada or shoka. Yeah? So here, very simple questions on the surface. Who is awake and who is sleeping? So Shastra says that if we are not pursuing that Paramarthika Satyam, Paramapurushartha Moksha pursuit, even though awake, we are really sleeping. We are sleeping the sleep of ignorance, Nidra, Moha. No? And if you remember, there was this verse in chapter 2 of the Gita. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagati sanyami tasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. In the Sthita Prajna Prakarana of chapter 2 Gita, Krishna defines, what is night for the worldly person is day for the wise and vice versa. So the wise person, daylight is the ultimate satyam. Yeah? And the world of pleasure, enjoyment, and anitya vastu, chasing anitya vastu is night for the wise person. Yeah? So there is a very beautiful shloka which explains this. And in the Gita, the verse used is sanyami. Sanyami means one who has sanyama, mastery of the mind, is the viveki referred to here. Yeah? One who has the power of discrimination. Yeah? Now, again, we go to verse number 11. Yeah. Verse number 11. So, where is it? Yeah, here it is. Nalini dalagata jalavat taralam. Nalini dalagata jalavat taralam. Kim yauvanam dhanam cha ayuhu. Nalini dalagata jalavata taralam. Kim yauvanam dhanam cha ayuhu. Kathaya punaha ke shashinaha kirana samaha sajjana eva. Kathaya punaha ke shashinaha kirana samaha sajjanaha eva. So again, quite a few questions are embedded in this shloka number 11. Let me break it. Nalini dalagata jalavat taralam kim yauvanam dhanam cha ayuhu. Kathaya punaha ke shashinaha kirana samaha. Answer. Sajjanaha eva. So looks like there are 3 questions, 3 or 4 questions here. And we will go to those now. Yes. So this is question number 30. Question number 29. What is ever changing like the water drops on a lotus leaf? Yeah. Nalini dalajala, Nalini dalagata jalavat taralam kim. Yeah. We had this in the Bhaja Govindam also. Shankaracharya says, look at the water drop on the lotus leaf. Yeah. it is trembling, it is shaking. Yeah? And it's got a very temporary existence. So what is ever changing like water drops on a lotus leaf? And here Acharya mentions three things: Yauvanam, Dhanam, and Ayuhu. Yauvanam, Dhanam, and Ayuhu. Yeah? And why only these three things Acharya mentions? Because these are the three things that we are so much we want to prolong it. Yeah? Yauvanam. Acharya Adi Shankaracharya, even in the Bhajagovindam, there is a similar verse. Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kala sarvam. Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam. Please don't, have pride of possession of these three things. Which three things? Wealth, youth, and Ayuh. Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam. Why? Harati nimeshat kalaha sarvam. Because time, it's just a question of time. Yeah? The time is going to, Harati is going to take away the slender body and the wealth, dhanam, and also Ayuh. Can you all hear me? As usual, internet problems. Let me just try to solve it. Give me a moment. Can you hear me now? Yes? Okay. One moment, I'm just arranging a few things. Okay. Yeah. So we were in verse number 11. Yeah. I'm on the data mode now, so I won't be able to display anything. So you please follow the PDF. Huh? So here the question was Nalini Dalagata Jalavat Taralam Kim. So what is so volatile and fickle and ever changing like the water drops on a lotus leaf? What is that? Yauvanam, Dhanam, and Ayuhu. No? And why only these three things are mentioned is because we are very attached to them. Yeah? And now we can see, the corona period has shown us why all these are so unstable. That's why some people call corona as Karuna virus. Karuna virus because it has made people realize the value of certain things, that we take for granted. Yeah? And like all these, no? So this is all about gracious aging, yeah? Yauvanam. And whatever is anatma, centered on anatma, will be fleeting. Yeah? Puja Swamiji says they are like the drops on a hot dosa pan. Why waters on a lotus leaf? It is as fleeting as the flapping of the eyelid elsewhere, it is mentioned. No? So don't invest too much of your money in face mask and hair dyes and property investments. Yeah, because we will see that it is ever changing. Age increases, ayu is decreasing day by day. Yeah. So ma kuru dhanajana yauvana garvam. Bhaja govindam, govindam bhaja mudhamate. That is the refrain in Bhaja Govindam. So this is the shloka number 11. And one more question. 30th question is Kathaya punaha ke shashinaha kirana samaha. Shashinaha is referring to the moon. Yeah. Remember, I have said this once before, that in the olden days, when one looked up at the moon, one saw the craters appear like a shashi. Shashaha. Shashaha means rabbit. So the rabbit-faced entity is called Shashin. Shashaha asya asti iti Shashin. And so here the question is that Shashi, the moon, Kirana Samaha. Shashinaha Kirana Samaha. The moonlight or the moon rays, the rays of the moon, what is compared, what is like the rays of the moon? We know one thing for sure, it is very cooling and comforting, the rays of the moon. So the question is, what is cooling like the moonlight? And the answer is Sajjanaha eva. Sajjanaha eva in shloka number 11. Sajjanaha are the Satpurushas, the Mahatmas, the Gurus, the saintly people. Yeah? The saintly people are like the cool moon rays. Why? Because we know that the saintly people, when we are in their presence, we experience peace of mind. And also because they are not judging us in any way. They don't have an agenda for us. Ever compassionate, they take you as you are. Yeah? Why are you like this? Why are you suffering? Why are you crying like a child? They will not say that. Yeah? They will not say you are the problem, you are the solution. Which is the truth actually. Yeah? My mind is the problem and the same mind has the solution also. Yeah? But the compassionate sajjanas, they are non-judgmental and extremely compassionate. And when we go to them, yeah, what do? They remove the immediate cause of suffering. On the surface, what is it that will give me immediate relief? Then later on, the Guru will tell us, the ultimate cause is avidya. And then if the student or the person is ready, they will receive the Guru Upadesha, Satupadesha, which removes the sorrow for good. And that is why, many people coming for darshan to Puja Swamiji, they would on the surface have, they would have a bereavement or a financial assistance they need, or there'll be medical emergency. So on the surface, Swamiji would help them. Yeah? Sajjanaha. But then when the person is ready, will be able to study the Shastras and come to the ultimate cause of dukkham, which is avidya. Avidya is causing moha. Moha is causing vishada, sorrow. So that was the two questions in verse number 11. Yeah. Now we go to verse number 12. Kaha narakaha. Kaha narakaha is, what is hell? And the answer given is paravashata. Paravashata. Paravasham. Paravasham means the emotional dependence on anything in life. It can be a person, it can be a relationship, it can be coffee, tea, wealth, possessions, it can be a pet, your pet dog or your pet cat. I am dependent on it. We see this in our own lifetime. When we lose a pet to natural death or to unnatural accidents, how much grief it causes. But what does the owner do? Replaces it with another pet. Yeah. And here the Shastra says, cautions us that if there is paravasham, if there is an emotional dependence and we come under the spell, these days, the strongest spell is the spell of the mobile. Social media, TV, they are causing so much paravasham. That is, we are almost pulled towards the mobile to check our WhatsApp messages, browsing and email. Yeah? Then we go away to switch off the cooker or to answer the doorbell. Again, we are back to the mobile. So this paravasham is, Acharya says, narakaha, hell. Yeah? Manaha eva karanam bandha mokshayoho. Then what is sukham, saukyam? The next question is also given in verse number, verse 12. Kim saukyam sarva sangha viratihi ya. Sarva sangha viratihi ya. That is the vairagyam, the emotional independence, the inner freedom, that I do not give anybody, anything in life, the remote to my happiness. If a thing is there, fine, I enjoy it. If it is not there, fine too. Yeah, prasada. So I am not going to be a slave to anything, coffee, tea, habits, persons, entities, social media, all of these. Not letting the world determine my happiness. So that those two questions, kaha narakaha and kim saukyam, were answered in this. So saukyam, sarva sangha viratihi ya, is non-attachment. Vairagyam, and Pujya Swamiji's word for vairagyam is objectivity. Objectivity means taking a thing for what it is. I need not be attached to wealth, or to youth, but then I enjoy the youth, I enjoy the wealth, I apply it to the extent possible, but I'm not attached to it. Yeah? So this has to be understood carefully. Vairagyam is not turning away from family, wealth, and ignoring it or denying it. No. Whatever Bhagavan has blessed me, I enjoy it. But at the same time, I'm not seeking to prolong it, to magnify it, and to come under its, net. That is the idea here. Now, the next in this shloka, so one thing has to be clear. We see so many descriptions of Narakaha and heaven and hell in our Puranas. One will be fried in deep oil, or there is a vast ocean. Like that, descriptions we hear. Yeah? But Shankaracharya makes it clear that heaven and hell, Saukyam and Dukkham, is right here in this very life. When the mind undergoes an intense period of suffering due to attachment or whatever reason, then there is hell right here, Narakaha. And when for no reason, I am very calm and contented. I'm sure we have all experienced that. There is no visible cause to be happy, and yet I feel so content and happy and blessed and grateful. That is heaven right here. So Naraka and heaven, is not always to be understood as some lokas somewhere. It is in my own state of the mind. Yeah. So that, and then there are further questions in shloka number 12. Kim Satyam? Kim Satyam? So what is truth? Or what is life all about? And the simple answer Acharya gives is Bhuta Hitam. Bhuta Hitam means Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. So the one who revels in promoting the welfare of all beings, including plants, animals, environment, all. Yeah? Bhuta Hitam, welfare of all. And that is why we have the Pancha Mahayajnas. Pancha Mahayajnas is how to be a contributor. How can I contribute towards nature? How can I contribute towards the Pitras, ancestors, to my fellow humans, to Devatas, yeah, to the Jiva Jantus? All these we have done elsewhere. And so Pancha Mahabhuta Yajnas, when I do that, when I contribute more, then I'm happy because of the Punyam. Yeah, so Bhuta Hitam is the Satyam, Acharya says here. Yeah. Then Priyam Chakim Praninam, the last question in this shloka number 12, is what is the dearest for all pranis? Now, pranis is to be understood as a sentient being. It can be an insect, mosquito, or anyone, but not jada vastu. Yeah? So what is the dearest for all the living beings, all that has, all the pranis? And the answer is asavaha. Asavaha is the word for prana, vayu, life. No? Asuhu. Asuhu is the word and asavaha is bahuvachanam. So asavaha is the life itself is the dearest. Yeah? This also we have realized, after the corona period, life is the most dearest. What use is all the possessions and all the relationships when there is no life? Yeah? So the life that is pulsating in me, love, dub, the heartbeat, is it not the dearest? Yeah? And so Acharya gives a very practical answer here. Yeah? In fact, in the Kena Upanishad, we have, some of us have covered the Kena Upanishad. There is a beautiful story. Do you remember? At the end, all the sense organs of knowledge, the eyes, the ears, and the nose, the faculties, not the physical organs, but the sukshma faculties are all having a discussion. Who is the most important? I say, I am the most important. See, sight, how much it brings in forms and colors. Then the ear says, no, sound is important. Shavanam. Like that, they're all arguing. Nose, if you cannot smell, what is there in life? Taste, taste and skin. Skin, prevents a lot of harm. When I feel something rough, I jump to safety. Then the prana is quietly listening to all of them. Then the prana says, okay, you all discuss, I'm going. The prana begins to leave. Then what happens? None of the other organs of knowledge can function without prana. No, come back. So they realize that it is the prana that is fueling the organs of knowledge. And hence here, Acharya says that is the dearest to all. Yeah. Now, let's do one more shloka and we'll conclude. That is verse number 13. 13 is Ko kaha anartha phalaha. What is anartha in life? Anartha means misfortune. Yeah? What is misfortune? Again, one word answer, manaha. Manaha means manitvam. Yeah? Pride, arrogance. Yeah? Now, pride, arrogance means I want others to respect me. Yeah? and to do namaskaras to me. Why does this happen? Why do people assume so much importance? Because inside there is a vacuum. Inside there is insecurity. So this pride and arrogance is only a facade. Yeah, it is a wall built by this person. And then Acharya is implying that how long will it last? It will collapse when people know there is just a show. So kaha anartha phalaha manaha is the question number 31 in verse 13. Then ka sukhada. Ka sukhada. Sukhada means sukham dadati. Itika. What gives me happiness in life? Yeah. What gives happiness in life or bestows happiness? Answer is sadhu jana maitri. Sadhu jana maitri. Sadhu jana is the other Mahatmas and the Gurus, and maitri is friendship. In short, sadhu jana maitri is referring to satsangaha. Like now, we are having so many online satsangas. Yeah? It can be offline satsangas. Indirect satsanga, when we read the Shastra, it is indirect satsanga. When we are in the presence of a live Guru, then that is direct satsanga. Online satsanga, offline satsanga. This is what will bestow permanent happiness to me. Yeah? Again, Acharya has beautifully said in the Bhaja Govindam, Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan muktihi, bhaja govindam, govindam bhaja mudhamati. So satsanga. Satsanga means satam sangaha. When I'm in the company of even-minded people, all the people who are seeking a higher happiness, the higher principle, who are devoted, who are seeking the truth, then we come together in a satsanga. And that satsanga is very, very powerful. We see sometimes invitations to online satsangas where they're doing, groups are doing Vishnu Sahasranamam, Lalita Sahasranamam, because there is a Sangha Shakti. And they're doing it for world peace and harmony. So that is the benefit of the collective coming together. Yeah? Now, if my mind is very, very powerful and pure, then even if I'm alone, I'm in satsanga. I can immediately bond with gurus and with the universal principle and to Bhagavan. But generally, that does not happen. So we seek the fortifying strength of satsanga, like now. And that gives the happiness. Then the last question for today and in this shloka 13 is Sarva Vyasana Vinashaha Kaha Dakshaha. Sarva Vyasana Vinashaha Kaha Dakshaha. Dakshaha, let's take the word. Daksha means one who has dakshata, competence, skill, expertise. So who is the expert? Who has the skill for Sarva Vyasana Vinashaha? Who has a skill to destroy and dispel the darkness of ignorance and sorrow? Who can do that? Of course, now we have all become dakshas to answer such questions. It can be Viveki, it can be Vairagya. But here the answer Acharya gives is Sarvatha Tyagi. Tyagi means the one who does Tyaga. Tyaga is to renounce. So the answer is the renunciate. The renunciate is the one who can destroy all the forms of sorrow. Now again, what do we mean by renunciation? The Bhagavad Gita talks about the two levels of renunciation. The first level is I renounce what? I renounce the desire for karma phalam. No? I am desiring something and having intense expectation. Yeah? But then I figured out in life, at some point, I figured out that more often than not, desires don't get fulfilled. And even if they get fulfilled, it's some partial fulfillment and not in the form I expected. So the wise person may have desires, but he will give up the desire for the karma phala. He says, Bhagavan, I don't understand the laws, but according to the laws, what I deserve only I am going to get. Yeah? So that is the nature of a karma yogi. This is the first level of renunciation. Then the higher level of renunciation is to understand that this is not I. Nothing belongs to me. And what is that higher I? Name, na mama. That is kartritva tyaga. Yeah? Giving up the notion that I am the doer. I am the doer and I enjoy. Yeah? So who's the doer really? Gita says, you are not the doer. You are not the karta. You are not the bhokta. Then who is? The Trigunatmika, Maya, Shakti impels the Anatma body, mind, sense organs and actions happen in the world. Yeah? But I am not that doer. Then who am I? And that is that Samyak Jnanam. Samyak Jnanam or the Atma Akarta, Atma Abhokta. The higher principle that is not subject to time and it is neither the doer nor the bhokta, enjoyer. Yeah? So when one is established in that highest wisdom, then what? Ashochanan vashochastam prajna vadanscha bhashate. Panditaha na anushocanti. So here Acharya is again and again reiterating that samyak jnanam, that knowledge of the nitya vastu, parabrahma or Rajavidya alone can remove from the root the sorrow in life. And it's interesting, you know, when Mahatma was talking about this word tyagi, we repeat it constantly. Tyagi, 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 tagi, tagi, tag, tagi, 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 Gita. So tyagi, you have to repeat it in such a way that you say tagi. Then tagi, 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 Gita. Bhagavad Gita kinchita Gita Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. Bhajagovindam says, if you study even a bit of the Gita, study it properly, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam, then what happens? You know, Yama will not disturb you. Yamena na charcha. That is, you will be free from the Marana Bhayam. In fact, you will understand that there is no Maranam for you. Because Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha Nahanyate Hanyamane Sharire. So, gaining the absolute in terms of knowledge of the Nitya Vastu, one is free from the time which is taking away my youth, beauty, wealth, relationships, and the time which is making me emotionally dependent. I'm free from all that time, space, and which are connecting me to Anatma objects. And I independently stand as a Atma Nirbharaha. And that is the ultimate thing or the knowledge that bestows happiness. So with that, we complete today's session on the Prashnottara Ratnamalika. We have covered 33 questions and answers in these 13 shlokas. Yeah? I was not able to display all the question and answers, but in the next session, we will review that briefly again. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.